Good morning, students. How are you all doing? I know all of us, the cosmopolitans, are sailing in the same boat at this time. The boat which is surrounded and stranded by the global pandemic COVID 19. And in this context only, I would like to quote Robert Frost here. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Dear students, I would like to ask you whether you're able to interpret the meaning of these poetic lines here or not. See, students, the agenda here is that the woods does not only imply the surface meaning, I think, which all of you are able to interpret through the picture also, that is the forest. But besides this surface meaning, it has got a metaphorical or a figurative, that is, the non literal meaning attached to it as well. And in the current context, which I've quoted, it refers to the darkness and the deep pandemonium prevailing all over the world in the wake of coronavirus disease, which has taken over the whole world under its deadly arms. So, students, here I want to bring home the fact that this figurative language is employed in almost all the poems, which at times becomes difficult for you to understand and interpret. But don't you worry, today we'll be analyzing, and discussing the various poetic devices which are used in poems by the poets under this heading figurative language. And moreover, you must give it a shot to discover your talent of writing poetry besides interpreting different poems which you are reading. After understanding its makeup procedure, its essentials, that is, using different poetic devices figuratively. So, students, this figurative language takes you away from actual meaning of words at face value, and it takes you to a special meaning that extends beyond the literal meaning of the words used, that makes the idea more effective, persuasive, and impactful. It strengthens the creative expression and description, along with making the language more graphic and poetic. So, students, you must have heard about different poetic devices like simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration. So, let us begin analyzing and therefore understanding these one by one. Let us begin with simile. Simile is a comparison device. We use it to compare two unlike things, two fundamentally different things, using the comparison words either like or as. Let us try to understand it with an example. Here you can see that a girl's smile has been has been compared with the sun. So, this comparison is being done on the basis of some common quality, and that is the brightness of the smile, which has been compared with the sheen of the sun. As put forth in the line, her smile is as bright as the sun. Or you may rewrite the same thing as her smile is bright like the sun, using like. So you can use either of these comparison words, like or as. I hope you've understood it. Let's move further. Now, the second comparison device is metaphor, which we have seen in case of woods also. Now, metaphor is, as I said, it is another comparison device. But here, what makes it different is we call one thing as something. We call one thing something else here. We don't use the words as or like here. Obviously, literally, it does not hold true. It holds true only figuratively, uh, as it is given imaginative wings. Now, if we see this example here, students, her laughter is a gentle song. So, laughter and song are two different things. But the laughter of the girl, the voice might be very sweet and melodious. It might be seeming the melody to ears so pleasing as a song. That is why it has been called a gentle song. Let us try to understand it further with some more examples. First, the sun was a gleaming pearl. We are calling the sun a pearl, shining pearl. My baby brother is a cute little teddy bear. So, on the basis of the commonality of cuteness between the two, the brother has been likened with a little teddy bear. My sister's memory is a camera that remembers everything we see. So, memory capturing everything like a camera. That is why it has been likened to a camera. The car seat is a fluffy cloud. So, on the basis of the fluffiness, seat appeared to be no less than a cloud. Custard is happiness in a bowl. So, the sweetness of this Swedish is compared to the abstract idea of sweetness. If you're happy, you find everything sweet around you. So, let us see some more examples. Franklin has a heart of gold. That means it conveys the idea no person literally can have a heart of gold. It brings home the fact that the person might be a pious person, a pure soul. He is a walking encyclopedia. So, full of information, ready with all sort of information which can be taken just like from an encyclopedia from that particular man. The world's a stage. So, different roles to play. You are my sunshine. Mary's voice is music to my ears. Now, students, we need to analyze the versus factor between metaphor and simile, which I hope you have understood by now. But let us try to see it through this Venn diagram. So, both are similar in the manner that both compare two different things. It cannot be the similar things. Whereas the distinction lies in the usage of the direct comparison words, which we do in case of using simile and do not when we are employing metaphor. So, students, henceforth, simile and metaphor seem to be the same person in different garbs. Now, talking about the current situation, we may say that being quarantined is being jailed. That will be the usage of metaphor. Whereas we will have to employ the direct comparison word like or as in order to employ simile. Being quarantined is like being jailed. So brings home both bring home the same idea but in a different manner. Now, moving further, let's say if tomorrow somebody devises a vaccination against COVID 19, obviously every person under the sun would be showing gratitude towards him or her. And it may be expressed like, thanks a ton, you are an angel for me. You are. Whereas, thanks a ton, you are like an angel for me. So, like suggests, it clearly tells us that it is the usage of simile. Whereas, where we are calling one thing the another, you are an angel, that is the use of metaphor. Oh my god, the toast jumped out of the toaster. Can we use? Is this the ability of the toast? Is it living? No, right? Can you guess which poetic device is used here? Dear students, it is personification. Yes, personification, the word person hidden inside it. So, this means when you give human like qualities, the attributes of humans, to an object, animal, or idea. Let's see an example. The car was suffering and was in need of some TLC. So again, the car has been personified here because cars do not suffer. We, the human race, suffers, isn't it? Now it is in need of some fuel, and therefore you can see in the picture also it seems to be suffering. Another example, the son played hide and seek. Now, this can be understood. Son doesn't play, children play, isn't it? You play. But on a cloudy day, you must have seen that the sun is overshadowed by the clouds, and then at the dispersal of the clouds after some time, it again appears. So it seems as if it is playing hide and seek with us, right? So, I hope you have understood these three poetic devices which are used figuratively in poems. Thank you, have a good day, and we'll be covering the remaining poetic devices in the subsequent sessions.